Welcome back to another episode of the Choose Optimism podcast. We're lucky to have with us Olivia Blair, who is the vice president of the Twin Cities area and a member of the Twin City Junior Optimist Club. Olivia, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
So, one of the things we talk about on this podcast is always our Optimist story. Tell us a little bit how you got involved with the Optimist organization.
So, when I was in fourth grade, the adult advisor for the Twin City Area Club was at the school open house. And so I was one of those kids where when I saw something I wanted to do, I kind of dragged my parents and make them let me do it. So I signed out the application form that day. And when I joined the club, I was in it for 2 years. And at 10 years old, I was the youngest club president that our club had had. So I was first president at 10. I was president again at 12. I was president again last year. This year I'm vice. So I've kind of done almost every position that you can hold at our club. I've been secretary a couple of times. I truly do love being president. I like being able to mentor the younger kids. We have, I think, the biggest age group in the state of Missouri. We have kids starting at 7, and then the oldest is my boyfriend and I. We're 16. It's just my favorite thing to be able to go to the nursing homes and help those kids out, and then also to teach the community and our younger generations how to be those kind of people.
And you've done those oratorical and essay. Let's talk a little bit about your oratorical experience. What did you gain from that when you were in the oratorical competition?
So with the oratorical competition, I breached out of my shell a lot. It's really interesting to look back at the recorded videos my mom has from when I first started competing, where I didn't really walk when I was talking. I didn't have a lot to say. I was very restricted in my movements. But to look at the videos from more recent competitions, it's taught me a lot on how to speak calmly and how to get my ideas across and articulated very well. The Optimist Oratorical competition opened the door for a lot of different speaking roles. This last month, I competed with the Voice of Democracy competition, and I don't think that I ever would have entered speech competitions before Optimist Oratorical, and it opened a door for something that I truly love doing. I really like getting out there and talking, and it was just the first thing that I saw and I did, and I was like, wait, I kind of actually like talking in front of a big crowd.
Well, that's great life experience because my Optimist Club has helped me with speaking engagements that I've done over the years. Do you have a favorite oratorical year, like a favorite question you've done for the oratorical?
I might be a little bit biased because it was the year that I got the farthest. But so last year's topic was how optimism has guided me through trying times. And it was my favorite speech to write. Usually when I sit down and I begin to write my speech, I edit it about 7 different times. When I got that topic, I wrote the speech twice. I did my rough draft and then I finalized it. And that was the speech that I took all the way to regionals because it was a topic that came very easily for me. Optimism has been something that's been a part of my life since I was 7, and being able to sit and talk about how much has guided me through different struggles in my life, through losses, through high school, it was something that kind of wrapped and summarized everything that optimism means to me. And it was my favorite speeches to write because I got to watch, and as I spoke to the older optimists that I was competing or the judges, I watched them all experience the same things that I was talking about in my speech. And it was kind of a full circle moment to watch those judges as I'm talking to reflect on their life and their optimist journeys while I'm talking about mine.
What are some of the projects that your club does in the Twin City area?
So in the Twin City area, a lot of our focus goes to our elderly residents. We visit the Autumn Ridge Nursing Home multiple times throughout the year. My favorite project that we do is Christmas caroling. And so we started it when I was very early in the member. I think I was 8 years old, and we used to go to the hospital and we would Christmas carol for the residents. We had a girl that would play the piano. After COVID, we stopped going to the hospital and we went to the different nursing homes. And so getting to go and sing the Frosty the Snowman, the residents of the nursing homes really enjoy it. They really like having us there. And then we'll sit down and we'll bring hot chocolate and cookies and we'll play board games with them. And it's one of my favorite things, just to be able to make and bring Christmas joy to all of them. It's something that they always ask back, all of us, every single year. And it is really exciting to be able to go there and bring them their Christmas.
That's a pretty worthwhile project, helping people that are in nursing home because they don't probably get a lot of visitors. Your essay competition. Tell us a little bit about your essay competition experience with the Optimist Clubs.
So this was my first year that I competed with the essay competition. I actually wasn't aware that you were able to do both until this last year. And so I submitted my entry. I'm still kind of waiting to see where that falls. Essay writing has been something that I think I'm good at, but I'm not entirely sure. I do like being able to enunciate and articulate the different things that I'm speaking, and I don't know how well I get across that with my essay writing, but I think the essay allows me to understand that the words on the page matter just as much as the words that I'm saying. And so I was able to kind of mess with the bolding of the words, the italicizing, things like that. And it taught me to focus more on the individual words that I'm writing instead of the big picture essay. A lot of times with school writing, you're kind of focusing on, oh, I'm trying to hit this point, I'm trying to get across this argument. Whereas when you're taking an essay that is more open-minded and more personal experience and more of a personal narrative, you get to focus more on the feeling you're trying to convey through an essay that somebody else is going to read, that you don't get to know the tone that they're taking your voice in.
Let's talk about a little bit about your journey to be vice president, because that's a pretty big deal being a vice president of Joy. Let's talk about how your journey got you to the vice presidency.
So my club advisor when I first started, her name was Katie Huck, and she's always been really big on the older students mentoring the younger students. And so when I first joined, the president of the club, her name was Tegan. And I was the youngest one there, didn't really have a lot of friends, but it was something that I knew I wanted to do. And she kind of took me under her wing. She pushed me the second year that I was there to run for secretary. She taught me how the different things worked. She was just like the best mentor that I've ever had. And I think if you were to ask her now, she probably wouldn't remember the Olivia Blair, the 7-year-old that she talked to 6 years ago. But she had such a large impact on my life and the leader that I am and the person that I am. And so when I went and at 10 years old decided that I wanted to be on the board, she was the person right behind me. She aged out when I was 10. So she's 8 years older than I am. And she just pushed me to take things in stride and try everything. And even if it doesn't happen, it's something that I still tried. And so she taught me just to kind of put myself out there. And even if it doesn't happen, I did give it a go. So she really was the person that pushed me to be who I am now. And my experience with Joy, I completely owe it to her and Katie. They were the people that guided me through all of it. They told me that, like, you don't have to be the oldest, you don't have to be the smartest in the room. You just have to be the person that wants to try. And so I tried, and eventually I've done it. So now this club has become part of my home. It's part of my family. The service projects we do, I love being able to have my hands in it and being able to help. And I hope that I'm able to give the same experience to our younger members that Tegan gave for me.
What are some of your responsibilities being an international vice president at Enjoy?
I'm not international president. I'm vice president for my club.
Oh, just for your club. Okay.
Just for my club.
I thought you were vice president for the region or whatever. So I apologize for that.
No. So the state of Missouri, we don't have a district. I am working on that though. That's it. That's a project in progress. So vice president of my club, I get to deal more instead of the actual club things and planning the service project. That's what our president does. I get to do more of the bigger projects that are kind of behind the scenes that a lot of our club members don't really know I'm working on. So the last couple of months, I've been doing Zoom calls with other clubs in Missouri, trying to pull together and make a Missouri district. So Missouri on the eastern side, which is where I'm located, the Eastern Missouri District for the adults, we do not have a Junior Optimist district. And so we have 5 clubs total. In order to start a district, you need 5 clubs willing to participate. And so it's been a bit of a struggle trying to get all 5 on the same Zoom meeting, all 5 on the same page. But that's what I get to do as the vice president of my club, is kind of interact with those other clubs and try and get the ball rolling on something that would impact the people that come after me.
So do you have any goals to move up farther in the Joy organization as you get older and get more stuff accomplished? Sounds like you're trying to set up a whole district. So
this last year, I went to the International Summit and I ran for International Board. I was the runner-up. I wasn't able to make it onto the board. And so I do have plans to continue moving up in Junior Optimist. It's something that matters a lot to me. I want to be able to see and make the change that I saw when I was younger. Trying to make the district, I think, would probably be the first step. Last year when I ran for International Board, I had no idea what I was signing myself up for. Katie just told me, hey, you might want to try it. And so I tried it. it was really interesting going to Summit and seeing these huge districts there. And I think that starting the district in Missouri is the first step that I can make. And even if it's not something that I'm on international board before I age out, I'm setting the foundation for somebody else from Missouri to have that opportunity. And I think that's something that's really important to me, is laying that foundation so that the Missouri clubs are getting the foundation they need to continue moving up in international.
Let's talk a little bit about the Joy Summit. I was very fortunate last summer in St. Louis to raise money for your Joy Summit. So I was very honored to be able to do that. How was the Joy Summit this last year?
This last year, so I've been to the Joy Summit twice. This last year was by far the best experience I've had. There was so many more students there, and it was so interesting because you get in there and you're nervous. And I had my younger sister with me, and we don't know anybody that's going to be here. We're just the two kids from downtown St. Louis. What are we doing? And everybody is so welcoming. Everybody is so excited to be there, and you make friends almost instantly. And I think that's something that is so special about Joy Summit is nobody knows anybody that's there. We're all there for the ride. We don't know what to expect. And you walk in and you have all these friends immediately. You make all these connections. I'm still in contact with a lot of people that I met at Joy Summit. And it's something that's so special that only Junior Optimist and Optimist can create and manufacture, is these really down to earth, really real friendships that you made over 3 days. And the experiences we have and the community service that we get to do, you get to change these lives in a matter of 3 days. And whether or not you're from St. Louis, where you'll get to continue seeing the projects you did in the community garden continue to grow as the year goes by, you get to watch the gardeners' faces as you transform their garden. That really was my favorite project. We went to this community garden and we cleaned out all of the dead trees. We planted new ones. We remulched everything. And it was just super interesting because we took before and after pictures, as teenagers do. You want to see your progress. And we transformed this entire garden so that she's able to have a more successful year. And seeing her gratitude and seeing her happiness, that's what makes it worth it. That's what Junior Optimist is about. That's what our goal was. And Summit really captures the feeling of being a Junior Optimist and just gives it to you in a 3 day span. And you have it, and that's what we're here for.
What are some other things that you worked on or did like workshops with the Joy Summit to improve your skills as you could become an optimist?
So when we did the little breakout sessions, I attended the one for officer training. And so we focused a lot on communication skills, on being able to build on our projects. So the officer training was open to anybody that held a position in their club all the way up to the international level. And it was ran by, I believe, the past president of International Summit. And so we got to experience him speaking to us and telling us, you have to be able to do this. This is a way to get your goals across. And it was super immersive. And we were able to meet with other club presidents in our area, meet with other club vice presidents from across the world in Canada, things like that, that you're able to see that what I'm doing in a small town of Missouri is the same thing that somebody's doing in a small town in Canada, or the same thing that somebody's doing in Ohio. And really summarizes that joy it doesn't matter your location, it doesn't matter where you are. You're learning these leadership skills that are going to propel us into a future that is better than the one we have now.
Are you hoping to return to the Joy Summit for this year?
Yes. So our adult club has sponsored 3 students to go. I'm hoping that I will be one of the ones. We kind of do like a pick in order to make sure that the kids that we are sending are also going with like an older kid. So you're not sending 3 of our 10-year-olds to kind of brave St. Louis. So I'm hoping that I get to be the mentor for the younger ones and get to go with them and get to experience it with them again. It truly is one of my favorite things. And I think being able to go this last year before I age out and solidify our younger members into wanting to go and pursue things at the international level is something that I want to be the one to kind of cater for them.
So, how do you fundraise for yourself to attend the international convention?
So we do a couple different fundraisers, but our Adult Optimist Club they sponsor, I think they're sponsoring fully for 3 of us to go. We run a couple different fundraisers. I'm not sure exactly which ones go to International Summit, but we have a really good connection with our Adult Optimist Club. and they're also trying to support gaining more traction with the Missouri side of the international or the district level. And so they were very happy to be able to allow three of us to go. This past year, the St. Louis Optimist Club sponsored my younger sister and I, since we didn't have our adult club wasn't really 100% for sure on it. They had never sent kids before. And so the St. Louis Club sponsored my younger sister and I, which was absolutely amazing of them. And we are super thankful for them to allow us the opportunity to experience that. And we're also super thankful for our adult club now sponsoring three of us to go.
What are you looking forward to in your Optimist plan as you grow and continue high school and get ready to graduate? What are some of the goals you have before you age out in the Joy Club?
I think my main goals before I age out of the Junior Optimist Club is just to lay the groundwork for the groups that are going to come after me. I think in every area we're experiencing a lot of struggle of our youth remaining active in our community, at least where I'm seeing things. And I want to be able to lay and set that foundation for the younger kids to have that love for volunteering that I do, to have that love for communicating that I do. I think it's really special about Optimist is getting to propel these younger kids into leaders, into good communicators, into volunteers. And so I hope to just further lay that foundation in my current club. And also at the district level, I want to be able to make larger changes. So as individual clubs, we're able to make a couple of changes. We're able to impact our direct community. But I think at a district level, you're able to impact a wider range of people. You're able to impact individuals in a larger way, simply because you have the funding of 5 clubs instead of just one. And I think that's where I want to start. I think the district level for Missouri, my goal for that is just to simply set it up in the next year so that somebody else, there's bound to be somebody that has the same goals in mind of getting a larger district and supporting people throughout the area in these exponential ways compared to what we can do as a singular club. And so I think if I lay the foundation, if I'm able to get that sort of set up, halfway set up before I age out, then it's a job well done for me and somebody else can continue to move it forward.
Does being in a Joy Club make you want to join an adult club when you're older?
Absolutely. I think I know that they're starting a young adult club. And so there's trying to bridge the gap between going from a junior optimist to an adult club. But I have gained such a connection to the different members of our adult club. I have former teachers in our adult club. I have people that have supported me every single year through Oratorical. And I think the moment I age out, I would like to enroll in our adult club because then I can continue doing exactly what I'm doing now. I can continue volunteering. I can continue catering to my community and to our youth. And that's something that's super special to me. And being a Junior Optimist has completely opened that door for me. And I would love to join an adult Optimist club.
That makes me really happy because I actually heard an ad on the radio when I was 17 for our adult club and wasn't able to join until I was 18. So I'm glad that you had the experiences in a Joy Club that I was unfortunately not able to have. So, what is some things for your future you're looking forward to, and some goals you have in mind for yourself for like college and career and stuff like that?
So, I'm somebody with a lot of different career options, and I'm not sure exactly where to go. But with Optimist, with Oratorical, I know that I want to do something with speaking. I know that I want to be somebody that gets in front of a crowd or a small group or even an individual and gives them a speech or information that changes their life and impacts them. Having this experience with Optimists and especially Oratorical and watching people's faces change as you're talking to them and watching people think about their life in a way they hadn't thought of before, it's something that makes me feel like I have a role that's bigger than just a high schooler. It makes me feel like I'm something that can impact people to think differently, to change their mindset, to go into their life just a little bit lighter, a little bit happier. And I know that's something that I want to carry into my career. I've juggled with the idea of medical and being able to give somebody the good life-changing news that they're expecting. I've juggled with the idea of law because that's the talking that I love doing and I can benefit people in that way. I've even looked in a little bit into psychology to explore the human mind and how people interpret things and how when I say something that's affecting somebody's mind, So there's a couple of career options that I have. Thankfully, I have another year to figure that one out. But I do know that I want to do something that involves speaking. I know that I want to do something that allows me to impact people's lives.
Those are some pretty lofty goals. Do you have any advice for kids that are listening or adult optimist clubs that are listening about joy and how to pursue joy with their clubs?
I think that my biggest piece of advice to any student that is in Junior Optimist or any adult that is trying to repel their Junior Optimist group is that the worst thing you can do is not try. Whatever your goal is, whatever you're trying to achieve, you just have to put one step forward to try. And even if it doesn't work right away, you just have to keep going because trying is the difference between making it and not. I've learned that with everything that I've done in my Junior Optimist career is the moment you try is the first step done. And you just have to continue building off of that first attempt. So my biggest piece of advice is to just go for it and continue building from there.
Well, Olivia, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to be on the Optimist podcast. And hopefully, this will inspire some other people to have joy clubs, or maybe some kids that are listening in the joy club to actually propel to hit their goals for themselves.
Thank you guys so much.